Hello everyone, my name is L. Deepak Singh. I am from JNB West Khasi Hills, Meghalaya. Today I am going to present a chapter number 15. The name of the chapter is Air Around Us. So let's start the chapter. At the end of the chapter, you will be able to define air, explain the different constituents of air, so what is there present in air, discuss the properties and the uses of air, the characteristic of air and the uses where we use air, explain air as mixture, presence of air in water and soil, whether air is present in water and soil, interdependence of plants and animals. So next, you have learned that all living things need air. Not only this, we need air in many other activities also. But can we see air? No, we cannot see the air. How do we know that air is present all around us? How do we know? We can feel its presence in so many ways, such as rustling of leaves of the trees when breeze comes. Then the cloth hanging on the clothesline sway. The cloth, they move here and there when the cool breeze or the wind comes. The fluttering of pages of books when we on the fan, and if a book is there, open book is there under the fan, the fluttering of pages take place if you put the book outside, and when the strong breeze comes, fluttering of the pages take place. Winnowing, we have already learned the chapter separation of substances, right? And many more. Wind. Now you can see in the picture that trees, they bend on the other side when the wind blows. So what is wind? What is what? Wind. Simply moving air is called wind. So next is, we will be discussing about the properties of air, whether air is present all around us, whether air occupies space, whether air has any color, can we see the air, right? So for this you need to do an activity, right? And I have a video which will be showing the activity, right? Okay, now for that activity, what do you need? You need a bucket filled with water, then you need a bottle or a tumbler. Now next, what you have to do is that the first thing, dip the open mouth of the bottle or into the bucket or tub filled with water. So you can use a bottle or a glass tumbler, right? Second is what? Now tilt the bottle slightly and observe what happened. So you have to observe what happened when you tilt the bottle. So I have a video performing that activity. So let's watch together. Hello everyone, myself L. Deepak Singh. I am PhD Science of JNB West Khasi Hills, Meghalaya. Today I am going to show you an activity to prove that air occupies space, air is transparent, and air is colorless. So let's start the activity. We need few things. First of all, you need a bucket or a tub filled with water, then a piece of cloth, then a glass tumbler. Now what we have to do is that first of all, you put the cloth into the glass tumbler tightly so that it may not fall off. Then next, what you have to do is that you have to submerge the glass tumbler into the water. completely submerged. Then you remove, you pull it out the glass tumbler. Then let's check the cloth. See, the cloth is dry. What makes the clothes dry, and how come the water is not able to get into the glass tumbler? What is preventing the water to get into the glass tumbler? Now, next thing what you have to do is that take the glass tumbler without the cloth and submerge into the water, fully submerged. Then what you have to do is that you tilt little bit and you see air bubbles are coming out from the glass tumbler. And these air bubbles are what? These are the air which were filled in the glass tumbler. And slowly what happened? The water get into the glass tumbler. So what do we know from this activity? From this activity we know that air occupies space, air is transparent, and air is colorless. Welcome back everyone. So we have watched the activity. So I have few questions. What is that? Can we see the bubble coming out of the bottle or the glass tumbler? Yes, we could see that the air bubbles came out from the glass tumbler. Can you guess what was in the bottle or in the glass tumbler? Can you guess? Yes, it is air. So what we have learned from this activity? That air occupies space, air is present all around us, air has no color, and air is transparent. Okay? The next, here is the picture of the earth, and the earth is surrounded by a blanket of air, right? Blanket of air. Now, which extend up to many kilometers from the surface of the earth, right? Now, this is known as what? This is known as the atmosphere. So what is atmosphere? Our earth is surrounded by a thin layer which extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth, right? Called atmosphere, right? So all the living beings on the earth, whether it's a plant, animal or human being, we are able to survive due to this thin layer of air which is extending up to many kilometers from the surface of the earth, known as the atmosphere. See here, I have got two pictures, and from this picture you can easily know that these are the mountaineers. They are carrying a cylinder on their back, right? And they are climbing the mountain. Now, what are these cylinders? These cylinders are oxygen cylinders. As we know that in the atmosphere, there is air which we use it for respiration, right? But what happened when the mountaineers, they climb the high mountains, right? They have to carry the oxygen cylinder. Why they have to carry the oxygen cylinder? Now what happened is, you see, as we go higher and higher, right, the altitude, the air gets thinner and thinner. So when it gets thinner, what happened? The availability of air is becoming lesser and lesser. So in the high mountain, what happened? The mountaineers, they have to survive in the high mountain. So they have to carry the oxygen cylinder with them. So that is why the mountaineers, they carry oxygen cylinder when they climb high mountains. Next, air is made up of, what air is made up of? And until 18th century, people thought that air is made up of one substance. They didn't have much idea, right? But what we know at present about the air, what air is made up of? Air is made up of many gases. They are water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, dust, and smoke. So what air is made up of? Air is made up of water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, dust, and smoke. So let's start with the first component of air, that is the water vapor, right? Now, here a tumbler, a glass tumbler filled with ice is shown here, and at the outer surface of the glass tumbler, you can see few water droplets. So, from where these water droplets come? So, I have an activity which can really prove that water vapor is present in air, and due to this, what happened? The water droplets start to appear on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. So let's watch the video together. Now I'm going to show you an activity to prove that water vapor is present in air. So let's start the activity. So for this activity, what do you need? You need two things. One is the glass tumbler and few ice cubes which I have on a plate. So I'm going to put this ice cube into the glass tumbler one by one. Okay. So now after putting the ice cube into the glass tumbler, let's wait for some time and observe what happened on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. So after some time, what we can see that some water droplets are collected on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. Now these water droplets, from where it come from? Now see here, this glass tumbler is surrounded by the air, and in air there is water vapor, and when this water vapor comes in contact with the cool surface of the glass tumbler, it condenses into the water droplets. So what happened? From this activity, we can prove that water vapor is present in air. Welcome back everyone. We have watched the video performing that activity, and how come water vapor appear on the outer surface of the glass tumbler. So here's the question for you: how that water vapor, from where the water vapor on the outer surface of the glass tumbler comes from? Now, as you know that water vapor is present in air. So when the water vapor comes in contact with the cool surface, since the glass tumbler is containing ice, so when it comes in contact with the cool surface of the glass tumbler, so what happened? The water vapor, it condenses and it forms water droplets. So that is why we can see the water droplets forming on the outer surface of the cool glass tumbler. Oxygen is also a component of air, but we can prove that oxygen is present in air, right? So for this also we can do an activity. That now first of all, what you have to do is that you need two candles, you need a glass tumbler, right? You need a flat surface like a table, right? Then the first thing what you have to do is that fix two candles on the table. So we can fix two candles on the table, light the candles. Then number third, cover one of the candle with an inverted glass tumbler. So one of the candle we have to cover with the glass tumbler, and observe both the candles carefully. So we have to observe the candles carefully, what really happened after covering one of the candle with a glass tumbler. So I have a video performing that activity. So let's watch together. Today I'm going to conduct an activity which proves that oxygen supports burning. So let's start the activity. So before starting the activity, we need few things. What are those? We need a glass tumbler, we need two candles, and we need a matchstick with matchbox. So first of all, what I'm going to do is that I have to light a candle. So I have lighted candles, and next what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take this glass tumbler and cover one of the glass tumbler, and let's see what happened to the candle as well as to the another candle which is without the glass tumbler. So what you see here, the candle which is covered by the glass tumbler is slowly fades away and put off by itself. Why it is so? Because there is a component of air which supports burning, and that component of air which supports burning is oxygen. And what happened? So due to the shortage of that oxygen inside the glass tumbler, the candle put off by itself. And whereas on the other side, there is a candle which is continuously burning. Why? Because at the surrounding there is a sufficient supply of oxygen. So that is why the candles keep burning, which is without a glass tumbler. So from this activity, what we prove that oxygen supports burning. Welcome back everyone. So we have watched the video and we really understand that how come that oxygen is present in air. Now here is the question: why the candle covered with the glass tumbler got extinguished, right? So why the candle which was covered with the glass tumbler, it extinguished, it put off? Why it put off? Now see, the candle got extinguished because the component of air which supports burning inside the tumbler is limited. That is why it got extinguished, but the other candle keeps burning. So really, what really happened there is that when you cover the burning candle with a glass tumbler, what happened? The candle keeps on burning, but after some time the candle went off. Why? Because there is a component of air which is supporting burning. But that component of air which supports burning become lesser and lesser, and at last what happened? Due to the shortage of that component of air, that candle went off. But on the other side, the candle which is not covering by the glass tumbler, it kept on burning. Why it is so? Because there was a supply of air at the surrounding, supply of oxygen at the surrounding. That there is a component of air, right? Okay. Then, so what is the name of that component of? Usually we know that it was oxygen, right? So, why during an incident of fire one is advised to wrap a woolen blanket on a burning object? So here is a picture that a person is wrapping the fire with a woolen blanket to put off the fire. Why it is so? Why we are using this woolen cloth or woolen blanket to put off the fire? The reason is that when we cover the burning object with the fire, what happened? The supply of air, that is oxygen, because we know that oxygen supports burning. So the supply of oxygen air is cut off. So due to that, what happened? Due to limited supply of air, what happened? The fire put off by itself. Next component of air is nitrogen. So nitrogen is also part of the air. It is one of the constituent of air. Now nitrogen is a major component of air. So nitrogen covers the major part of the air. Now, unlike oxygen, it does not support burning. So what happened in the previous activity that we have done, that we cover one of the burning candle with a glass tumbler. And what happened when all the oxygens were used up, right? What major gas is left out in the glass tumbler? That is nitrogen. And why nitrogen is left out? Because nitrogen doesn't support burning. That it takes up nearly 78% of the air. So nitrogen takes up around how much percent of air? That is 78% of the air. Okay. Then next is carbon dioxide. Okay, carbon dioxide is also a component of air. The carbon dioxide makes up a small component of air around us. So carbon dioxide covers a small area or a small space in the air. But carbon dioxide is also as much as important as the other gases like oxygen and nitrogen. Plant and animal consume oxygen for respiration and produce carbon dioxide. So from where the carbon dioxide comes from? So plant and animals, they consume, they absorb oxygen gas and they during the respiration and they produce carbon dioxide, right? Now this carbon dioxide is also very important in photosynthesis. So without the carbon dioxide, the plants, they cannot perform photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide plays a very important role in the atmosphere. Plant and animals matter also consume oxygen on burning and produces mainly carbon dioxide and few other gases. So what happens? Plants and animals matter, right? Matter, any kind of matter that on burning it consume or it uses oxygen and it produces mainly carbon dioxide. So this also shows that how come the carbon dioxide is added up into the air. Next component of air is dust and smoke. So first of all, we'll take up the smoke first, right? The burning of matter produces smoke also. So burning of anything, whether it's a firewood, whether it's a fossil fuel, right? Any kind of fuel, it produces smoke. Now smoke contains a few gases and fine dust particle and is also harmful. So smoke contains a few harmful gases and dust particle also, which is very harmful to our health. Now see here, there is a picture of a factory. In the factory, it got long chimneys releasing the smoke into the air. Why the factories they have long chimneys? The long chimneys in factory take away the harmful smoke from our nose. So the long chimney, what happened? It take away the harmful smoke from our nose higher up in the sky. So there is a less chance of the contact between our nose and the smoke. Next, the dust part. So here also you can do an activity that you can do very easily at home. Find a sunny room in your school or home. So a very bright sunny room, you try to find it out, right? At home or at school. Close all the doors and windows. Close all the doors and windows with curtain pulled down to make the room dark. So you close all the doors and windows as well as you pull down the curtain so that make sure that the room is dark, right? Open the door or a window facing the sun just a little to allow sunlight to enter the room only through a slit. So try to make a small slit by opening a door or window which is facing towards the sun, right? Now, so when you open a small portion and make a small slit of that particular door or window which is facing the sun, you will be able to see the sunlight entering into that slit, and as well as you will be seeing some very fine particles floating around in the air. Look carefully at the incoming beam of light. What do you see in the beam of light? What really do you see in the beam of light? We can see that tiny shiny particles, they are floating around in the air. What are these tiny shiny particles? What are these tiny shiny particles? These are dust particles. Here is the question which is related with the dust particles, right? With the dust particle. So you can see a policeman is wearing a mask. Right, is wearing a mask. Why the policeman is wearing the mask? The policeman throughout the day, they are on the roadside maintaining the traffic, and looking after the public, right? So why the policemen, they are especially the policemen, they are wearing the masks? Why? The policeman is wearing a mask because the policemen always exposed to dust and smoke. So all the time the policemen, they are always, all throughout the day, they are exposed to dust and smoke, right, of the vehicles, right, not only of the vehicle and even the factory also. If you go to the big cities, metropolitan cities, you will find many factories. So which is harmful to the health to the health. Therefore, in order to protect from dust and smoke, the policeman is wearing a mask. So due to the dust and smoke, what happened? It gives a very harmful effect to the health. Not only to the policeman, even to us also, even to us. So if we continuously breathe in this smoke and dust particle into our body, what happened? It leads to many kinds of diseases like lung cancer, asthma, breathing problem, many kinds of respiratory diseases come up. So in order to save from that particular type of harmful effect, the policemen, they are wearing masks. And this is also a very useful thing, that why we should breathe through our nose. So your parents or your elders might have told you that why that you should breathe through our nose. But what should be the reason that we should breathe through our nose, right? There should be a reason. Now, what is that? We should breathe through our nose because fine hair and mucus are present inside the nose to prevent dust particles from getting into the respiratory system. So what happened when we breathe through our nose? Inside the nose, you can find that there are fine hairs and mucus which filter the incoming air into our respiratory system. So when this thing filter, what happened? The dust and the harmful thing, they have been removed, and what happened? The clear fine air get into the respiratory system. So that is why every time, as far as possible, we should breathe through our nose. Now see here is a dirty glass, right? Covered by dust and other harmful things. Now why the transparent glass of windows is, if not wiped out, regularly appear hazy, not clear, right? Why it is so? Now the thing is that air contains some gases, water vapor and dust particles that stick to transparent glass of window. That is why the transparent glass of window, if not wiped out, regularly appear hazy. So what happened here? As we know that air contains dust particle, right, water vapor and other gases. So what happened? If you don't wipe it out regularly, so the dust particle and the harmful gases, they keep on sticking on the surface of the transparent glass. So due to that, what happened? The transparent glass, it became hazy. So we should wipe out the transparent glass regularly. If you not wiped out, the glass will become in this manner. Composition of air. This is also a very important part in the chapter. Now see here, the gases in air are mainly nitrogen, oxygen, small amount of carbon dioxide and many other gases. So as we know that in the air we have got the nitrogen, the oxygen, a small amount of carbon dioxide and many other gases. Now even a dust particle also, right? So there may be variation of composition of air from place to place. So variation of air, the thickness of the component of air in that is nitrogen, oxygen and other gases, it differ from place to place, right? Okay. Now the two gases, oxygen and nitrogen, together make up 99% of the air. So the two gases, that is oxygen, that is 21%, right, of the air, 78% of the air, they made up, when they combine together, they made up around 99% of the air. Okay, right? Then next, the remaining 1% is constituted by carbon dioxide, water vapor and few other gases. So the remaining 1%, it is composed of what? Carbon dioxide, water vapor and few other gases.